Definitely some manufacturers I know I wouldn't go to that are out there. There's some character issues with some people, and honestly.
Welcome to Price Plow.
All right, Mike here with Price Plow. We are here at Nutrex Research's headquarters, Orlando, Florida, with Max Fairchild. Max, I got a little bit of a question for you. We've seen everything, we've seen the offices, we've seen the warehouse and everything, but I haven't seen any manufacturing. So how can you prove to me that these supplements weren't made in a bathtub?
Weren't made in a bathtub.
Yes.
We definitely, the manufacturers we decide to work with, we do audits with them. We have relationships with those. We've actually gotten away from, if there's ever any issues, well, they'll be brought up. There's times where manufacturers themselves can be looked at with the FDA audits and whatnot. We're not using any manufacturers that have had any red flags or any worry that way.
So as an end consumer though, how does the end consumer, there's a small percentage of ones that actually care about this kind of thing. How do you prove that to them though? Because anyone could slap a logo on a bottle. And I know a company of your size would never do that because you get a lot of legal problems, so there'd be a target on your back. Right. But at the same time, since anyone can just slap a logo on the bottle, how does a major brand like yourself step up to the next level and prove to the consumer that cares?
One of the things we did with the Clinical Edge brand is get the Informed Choice logo on there, certification, to give the more strenuous tested athletes, ones that are going to be tested for NCAA, for pro sports organizations, Olympics. We had some guys testing for the Olympics this past year. Give that type of certification, and that to ease off their shoulders as far as testing procedures and whatnot.
So how does this work right here? So this is your new VitaDapt, which we'll talk about in another video. Subscribe to the channel. But this has the Informed Choice logo on it. What does it take to get that logo? What do they do to your products in order to make sure that what's here is in the bottle?
Third-party testing, verification. They make sure both the product before it's made and after it's made actually has those ingredients at those dosages and not tainted with anything. And that could be at a minute. So this even applies to something if someone's made in the same facility and it's tainted with a trace amount of a SARM or a trace amount of a pro-hormone or anything like that. We can't have any of that stuff in there, nor do we have any of the other products.
And they just won't Informed Choice won't certify such a manufacturer. Exactly. And so the fact that Informed Choice is even dealing with you is already a good step for all your products, really. Now regarding this, so when they do the testing, are they pulling it off the manufacturing line? Are they grabbing it from a store that has this?
They do, from my understanding, they do both.
Awesome. Okay.
We have another guy, Michael Quartz, who could answer a little bit more specifics on it, but I know they pull from both.
Okay, cool. So for the consumer who cares, or the drug tested athlete, this right here, and I know that there's kind of a couple competing standards out there, but from what I understand, Informed Choice is the most strict one.
They're one of them. Yeah, there's NSF, Informed Choice, and different ones that are all pretty high up there. So. But Informed Choice is the one we decided to partner with a couple of years ago. Cool.
And so, are you ever willing to disclose how many manufacturers you work with, or where it is manufactured, or anything?
It's always changing. So we definitely, me personally, working with 4 or 5 right now. Michael Quartz, who works with me as well, has got a couple that he works with more directly. So. There's a few, and again, there's sometimes it can be something as small as pricing. It could be, or as big as pricing, I should say, that can kind of change flavoring, new technologies on flavor, ingredients, things of that nature. But it's and also convenience. You don't want to have. It's nice to have people competing for your business, and it's also nice to have them. A lot of places or a lot of your products made at one manufacturer. But if you've got too much there, there's the issue of bottlenecking sometimes. So. Competition in the marketplace is good on multiple levels. Definitely some manufacturers I know I wouldn't go to that are out there. There's some character issues with some people, and honestly, flavors I've tried. There were some mass manufacturers with companies I can always be like, that was made that manufacturer.
So. The flavoring system, I thought you brought in your own flavoring system to the manufacturer.
No, they have, a lot of times they'll have certain flavor systems or brands they work with. Like for example, Zoom Essence is one of them, a new one that's got some great flavors. And you essentially, you get a taste for one, try it by itself, add a little sweetener in, mix up with acids, different things to try to get the right flavor you're looking for. So it's honestly just I don't know if you want to say call it an art, but if a lot of people are just, some manufacturers are tied to one flavor company, and I think that's a bad thing. You get some of the best from different companies. Try to, maybe this strawberry tastes like, a good example, like a strawberry tastes like a natural strawberry versus a strawberry tasting like a candy strawberry, or like how people always have a problem getting like strawberry protein to taste good.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
That's a good example. And it's just trying to find, then there's obviously natural flavoring, artificial flavoring, a blend of natural and artificial flavoring. So depending on what angle you want to go at and what flavor you're trying to, because yes, watermelon's one thing, but do you want like watermelon rind, natural watermelon, candy watermelon, sour watermelon? There's so many different ones to do, and try to find a blend and what's your angle. I think we're definitely have kind of adopted the more natural flavoring taste and not so much the candies, at least with our fruit flavors. And then we also have obviously the candy flavors that are specifically candy, knockoffs.
Definitely. Matt, all right, so subscribe to the channel because we have a whole lot more content coming from Nutrex, and you could always sign up for price alerts on priceplow.com/Nutrex. Thanks.
Welcome to PricePlow.